Yo, 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 welcome to the podcast. It's the Brew Crew Advent Calendar podcast. Day 14 here. We are at the Homeless Phil. That's right, my house.
Mm-hmm.
I have my esteemed guest, friend.
I am esteemed.
He is esteemed.
Get it right. Make sure it's right. You did get it right. I'm just saying, for all the juggalos, make sure you announce me as esteemed.
He is esteemed, and he's full esteem. They're kind of one and the same. I got a million of them. I'll be here all week. This is JT, of course, one of the founders and driving factors of the Brew Crew Podcast. I'm privileged and honored to have him in my home and to be doing so many of these podcasts for Advent Calendar with him. Today, we got a special brew for you. We are drinking a Cuvée de Troll. What is it?
This is from Dubuisson. I don't know how to pronounce that. And do you speak Dutch? Is that what they speak in Belgium?
I have no idea.
They speak Belgian.
They speak Belgium.
Waffle.
Belgium.
How do you pronounce that word on the
Dutch.
ribbon?
Dubuisson.
Dubuisson,
I would guess.
Dubuisson. That's probably it.
You know what? I'm really glad I left it to John.
It's probably dubious.
Dubious in Belgium.
1769 was when this brewery started. Pre-American
Colonial
Revolution.
Yeah. I don't think Sam Adams was doing his thing yet with the beer.
You don't think? How old was Sam Adams in 1769?
Well, I don't know. That's
probably old enough to brew.
He was old enough to brew for sure.
He was brewing.
He might have been.
He's an OG craft brewer.
I hope that number doesn't mean that this beer was made in 1769. That would be
if
really
it is, hey, it's well aged. This is Cuvée des Trolls, product of Belgium by Dubuisson.
Oh,
Dubious.
I just saw the tiny little label on there. It is a Belgian Pale Ale.
Yes, Belgian Pale Ale.
Belgian Pale Ale.
Brasserie Dubuisson. That's Brewery Dubuisson.
Easy for him to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said it because I couldn't. 7% alcohol by volume. Okay, let's get down to it.
Let's crack this baby open.
Ready?
Yeah.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
Yep.
Oh!
Matt had warned us about that.
You
and
know
I was like, sorry, man, I got beer on your floor. I'll go clean that up.
I got beer all over me. All right, well, now, that was interesting. So...
And we're back.
one first word of warning already. We have about a third of a bottle left each because the rest of it went on us or on the room. This thing exploded when we opened it. So, word to the wise, if you want to try this beer, you go down and buy some, put it in the kitchen sink, put a mask on, put a full body suit on, and then when you crack it, stand back because the thing is like Mount Vesuvius.
How appropriate that we weren't in the carriage house. It's almost as if like I wouldn't blame you if you thought that I had planned it that way, but you invited me here.
I did.
So if we weren't using my phone to record, I would read the text that Matt sent me and Stev earlier, which said something like, "I've already received 2 explosion warnings on the beer," and I totally forgot to bring it up before we recorded.
Damn
the second that I cracked it and heard things sizzle, like it was almost like a tenth of a second. You know, the brain works fast.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I forgot. Yep, and I moved it over to the side. Anyway, so now we have less beer, so I feel like we're owed a refund from the Barrel House.
Barrel House?
I'm just kidding. I would never ask that.
No, they're good folks. They wouldn't know.
So this is a Cuvée.
Cuvée of Pale Ale.
Are you familiar?
Well, Cuvée just really means I think we just got the Cuvée all over us.
We got the Cuvée all over us.
So Cuvée
That would be
really...
a great episode title if we did episode titles. I might make that the episode title.
You should. That's going to be our title.
We got the Cuvée
all over us. So Cuvée just means it's not a style of beer. It's just the fermentation style for carbonation, right? So like when you see champagne, a lot of times you'll see like a Cuvée, Brut Cuvée or Cuvée
Brut or
something
some
like
stuff that we would have discussed on the mothership.
See, you need to have me on more often.
Knowledge is power.
Y'all need to have me on more often.
Yeah, anytime, man.
So it's a pale ale, but they just and it dawned on me too after the explosion occurred and John ran to go get towels. It occurred to me, oh yeah, that's right. They probably fermented it in the bottle, which is after all the other fermentation is done, the primary, then the secondary fermentation, then tertiary, and they go to bottle it. If you want to add carbonation in the bottle, this is what homebrewers do, right?
Yeah.
What you do is you make a little sugar water thing, a really weak sugar water mixture in a big thing of water, and then you take a little bit out and you pour it into the beer after it's in the bottle, and then you cap it. And that little bit of sugar will restart the fermentation enough to create some carbonation in the bottle. And they obviously put way too frickin' much in there.
So that is why in the show Breaking Bad, there's an episode where Hank is awoken by gunshots, but he goes down to find that it's all of his beer that he'd brewed, popping the bottle tops off in the garage.
Because he put too much sugar in there.
Yeah, he put too much. So I was actually thinking you would put yeast in, but you putting sugar, so the yeast is still live and active.
The yeast is still in there. It's just gone dormant. And when the yeast there's a lot of yeast in there, because the yeast, the little bit of yeast that you put in at the beginning, at the primary fermentation, it multiplies like a son of a bitch. When you rack it off from the first primary fermenter, if that's a big barrel or a food grade bucket or whatever, you rack it off and siphon it off, and what you're left with is a sludge about that thick. It's gross. It looks like gray mud.
I've heard of it.
It's yeast. It's
yeast.
spent yeast cells. They multiply
and that's all generated.
It's all generated during fermentation. They multiply. They eat it. They multiply, and they fart out or whatever.
I've heard of generative AI, but this is ridiculous.
Generative beer.
Generative yeast.
See, AI's got nothing on beer. They've been doing this for centuries, man. Anyway,
so that's cool.
So there's still, no matter what, there's always yeast. Yeah, there's always yeast in the beer. There's always yeast in the wine. In the wine's case, it's dead because the alcohol content gets to a certain point, like around 14-15%, and it kills the yeast off. So that's dead yeast, but it's in there, right? For beer, alcohol content never gets that high. So it's in there. It's just dormant. So all you got to do is put a little sugar in there, and that son of a bitch will take off again. Obviously, the good folks that actually now
Brasserie Dubuisson.
Yeah, Cuvee de Trolls. I think they trolled us.
They trolled us.
They frickin' trolled us, those sons of bitches.
Sons of guns. Yeah. Well, I have so many things since you started talking the previous statement you made. I had all these things to say.
I'm sorry.
No, not to say previous to it, but while you were talking, I came up with a lot of things. But I'll at least say that my new team's away message is going to be, I'm yeast, gone dormant.
Nice.
And that's away. I'm away. Or maybe just gone dormant.
Gone dormant.
And they'll be like, what? It'll be awesome.
What the hell are you talking about?
That was really educational. Thanks for saying all that. That was really... I didn't know a lot of that stuff.
Well, it just dawned on me that that's probably why we just experienced what we did.
That was insane.
It was insane. Literally, Matt, you could see, I mean, there's like a third, there was a quarter to a third of the bottle left. The rest of it's on us or the floor.
So can art boner, just to get that out of the way, there's a troll looks to be in like the jumping, maybe some sort of like vaulting motion. What's in his hands? Are those blades?
I don't know.
I don't know what's in his hands, but he's got a hat made of hops.
Yeah,
he's wearing maybe shoes or maybe he's barefoot. You can't really tell.
They have curly cute things on the toes, but it doesn't look like a shoe.
Yeah, it just blends in with the skin. It could be a naked troll, could be a clothed troll. Either way, there are no genitals visible.
Yeah, no, he's streaking though. He's definitely
genitals.
Naked. He's streaking. He's streaking with hops on his head.
Hops on his head.
And some weird, what is a bone?
I feel like a troll is a very, like, Belgian thing. Same with like the Krampus, you know?
Oh, Krampus.
Krampus and the Troll.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool movie, The Krampus and the Troll.
Krampus and the Trolls.
In the movie Krampus, there's some trolls in there, I think.
Well, he's got a whole series of workers, and they're all weird, but I can't remember if they're.
I can't remember. I think there's trolls in there. Doesn't matter. All right, so that's the Can Out Boner segment.
One of the best Christmas movies that you got to watch every year. Get it on your seasonal list.
Yes, Krampus is a great Christmas movie.
Gotta be.
So this says it's a delicious blonde ale with a fresh, clean aroma that has a delicate hint of citrus and orange, nice malt body, and crisp finish. That's the description. Don't let that influence you. I don't taste the majority of those things.
I was just laughing because I was thinking, well, I smell the aroma. It's in my pants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I get pulled over, the cops are going to be like, dang, you smell like beer. It's okay.
You're going to be breathalyzed.
So, yeah, and I'll fail. One beer is all it takes. No, don't drink and drive.
Seriously? One
beer?
I
don't know how much it takes. I've never been breathalyzed.
Wow, used to be 2, but that was
I'm sure it's 2. I'm sure. It's 0.08. Whatever that is.
2 for guys our size.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, I'll just do my description first. Since you're the host.
Go ahead.
I'll go first. It smells like light beer. It tastes like wheat. It seriously just tastes like wheat. Like even maybe like plain wheat. What are those? The rectangular wheat, like crunchy cereal. It's like a pillow. It looks like a pillow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Shredded wheat.
Yeah.
Like if you take the cool frosting off of shredded wheat, that's what this beer tastes like.
Which is the best part of the whole damn thing.
Yeah, otherwise why are you eating shredded
exactly.
wheat? If you're not having frosted shredded wheat, you don't have shit.
If you think you're being healthy, you're just kidding yourself. You're
eating
carbs. You're eating carbs and gluten.
Yeah, right. Carbs
so you might as well put some sugar on it and make it worthwhile.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Put some sugar on that.
Exactly.
Just like this beer. Put some sugar on it.
You're dead on, man. It does taste wheat-like.
It tastes like wheat.
It's pale ale, but
I don't taste the things that they described. I guess you could let it ruminate. You could you could imagine those things. Oh, is there citrus in here? Sure, there's citrus in here. But it would be disingenuous because before reading that, no freaking way would I have ever even asked myself if I taste citrus in this beer. It tastes like a wheat beer. More so, it tastes like wheat. It's not off-putting. It's not great. It kind of just literally feels like I'm eating those crunchy shredded wheats. I can't describe it any other way.
So
the smell, I guess you could get some fruit in the smell, and it'd probably trick you a little bit into thinking there was fruit in this, or like that it was fruitier than it is. But it's all in the scent. Yep. But otherwise, it tastes like wheat, and I've locked in my score, but I won't reveal it until we'll go, relatively at the same time.
All right. I'll do my review and my score at the same time.
All right.
I'll make short work of this. Really average beer.
Yeah.
Really average. I taste a lot of those wheat overtones too. I do taste some malt in there, so I know there's barley in there somewhere, but I'm wondering if they mixed it like kind of Budweiser does. I just compared it to Budweiser. That's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign, but I can see where that comparison comes in.
But because they do, because Budweiser blends regular barley with rice and with other adjuncts, corn, not corn, and that's what Miller
corn
does.
Corn is Miller, yeah. No, isn't Bush corn?
Bush is corn also, and I think wheat is also Budweiser, but anyway, I taste a lot of that. I do taste the fruity esters. John nailed that one. That does give you kind of a sense that there's something else going on there. That's from the yeast, by the way, in the fermentation process. But I tasted a little bit of orange citrus, a little bit on the finish.
Like a rind or an actual?
Yeah, like
juice?
A rind.
Yeah,
like a rind.
I can see that. Maybe.
Like a little hint of in the nose afterwards when you're breathing it. Kind of. So
that bit of rind.
That's a really good call. But otherwise, pretty average beer. I'd give it an average score, except for I'm wearing most of it, so it's going to take a bit of a hit from me.
Oh yeah. Now, I think that the in-bottle fermentation is it's no fault of theirs. That they're trying to do something. They're trying to do something, and it's I don't know. Should I take points off for it? I'm debating it. Probably not. I'm probably wrong. I already have my score anyway.
It's that just happened to us. That's a rookie move. That's a rookie home brewer move.
Oh shit!
Like even a home brewer that's done it a couple of batches knows better. And there's plenty of warnings when you're reading your home brewing guides. You know, they tell you don't put too much in, just put like a half teaspoon in, a quart of water or something, heat it up a little bit. You don't need very much, right? So to me, that's kind of for professional brewers, that's kind of a big mistake.
Oh, all right. See, I wasn't reading it like that. That's good to know.
I
wanted to know that. Yeah. So, it's like in my head, it was like, was that a rookie mistake, or was that just like a result of a traditional old school brewing process? And if it's more of a rookie mistake, that's good to know.
You know, I think they may have done it more in the past because, you know, they didn't have carbonation. You know, they didn't have CO2 machines back, 200 years ago or whatever, or 100 years ago. But so they probably did use a lot of tertiary fermentation in the bottle to do some of that stuff. But a pro brewer would know better, and they would know how much to put in and how much not to. So I don't know. I'm just thinking, and especially,
I like this take. This is a good take.
You know, and I think
people need to know.
I think the other part is that, okay, they're in Belgium and they know a big market is the United States, so it's going to get shipped. So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening when it gets shipped. It might go by air, might go by sea. It's going to get jostled around. Temperatures are going to be different, you know. So it might mess up, you know, while it's being shipped.
Yeah.
It's undergoing a fermentation process, as opposed to, you know, a beer that's finished. And they're putting it into the bottle, and they might squirt a little CO2 in there through the bottling process, which is not fermenting. So that one that's not fermenting, that's being shipped overseas, is stable.
It's fine.
The one that's got, you know, yeast cranking up in it and is going up in the air at altitude or down or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to mess up the fermentation process. So
indeed,
I'm thinking,
rookie move. Bad move.
Bad move.
I agree. Bad move. What's your score?
All right, my score is going to be 2.5.
I'm right above you, 2.75. Would not have again. Finishable. 2.5. Once I start getting below that, it's a drain pour typically. At different capacities of drain pour, like a 2.25 is like, I'm not sipping this again.
Yeah.
0.25, you know, I'd keep sipping it and see if I like it, and then eventually just dump it. But 2.75, I'll drink it. I wouldn't have it again. I don't really see the appeal. There's something distinctly European about this beer that I do feel like if I was in Europe and I had it, I'd be more open to it. Just because I feel like every European beer I have has this, you know, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it other than like a drab, just earth, like weediness to it, or like the water thing that we talked about the other day. There's just something about European shipped beers that they're just distinct, and I'm sure there's a big group of people who are like, they're better. Fine, but not to me. Yeah. So I think this beer is drinkable, and like you said, I think it could fall at whether insulting or not into the, you know, Bud Heavy / you know, MGD kind of category, where it's just like a regular drinker that doesn't provide you with a palate explosion of flavor.
Yeah. I think you're right on. Thanks for reminding me. What you said about the water in Europe is so true. I was just thinking when you said that, immediately Grolsch popped into my mind. Grolsch tastes a lot like this.
Oh, okay.
So does there's a couple of other Belgian beers that taste very similar to this. I'm trying to remember what they are now. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But they have the same distinctive flavor, especially in the finish. And it's almost like a cherry flavor or something. But it's in the water, though.
I know what you're talking about. It's like weird.
Yeah,
a lot of Pilsners have it, too.
Exactly. It's not uncommon, but then again, it's not uncommon. So it's not spectacular. It's not anything.
It's kind of a watermark on European beers.
You
kind of just know, hey, this is almost, you know, it's kind of interesting that it'd be called a watermark.
You know, I think if somebody poured me a glass of this instead of having it sprayed all over me in the house and you, I would probably have accepted it and rated it a little bit higher. It's still not like it's a kind of you're right. It's like a daily drinker.
It's a daily drinker. Yeah.
It's not really.
I don't know that it's a craft beer.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go
and
with
that's
that.
okay.
Yep.
But don't make rookie mistakes. If these guys are going to come at us hard as hell right now, they're going to be like in the comments like, once I come to America, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, right. Bring it, pal.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't come by my house.
This is America.
I own firearms.
Uh-huh.
We're protected.
I mean, a lot of Americans do.
We do. So don't come
Be
over.
Careful. I don't know what they're.
Don't come over thinking you're going to start something. All right.
I don't think they will. If they want to come here, they'll probably just have some American beers with us.
By the way, just for you educated Europeans, this is called free speech also. Just so you know. So
anyway, if you guys want to come to America,
yeah, join us.
Let's have beer.
Let's do.
Not war. We're not fighting with Belgians. War.
There's another poster for your team. Let's have beer, not war.
Let's have beer, not war. For my teams? I don't think I can put that on my Microsoft Teams.
Probably not.
Anyway, that's day 14.
Day 14, I guess that wraps it up. So it's 2.5, 2.75. And
just not a great day for beer today.
No. But you know what? We get to continue to smell the aroma and enjoy it.
Yep, it'll be in your house for years.
It'll be here for a while. Day 14, we're out.
All right, bye.
Bye.